Tap in. So here today, we're going to show a brief video about sandpaper. These are the sandpaper I choose, and I use this for finishing touches on metal. Of course, it can be metal, wood, whatever you may use. And it's the classic way, which is just hand sandpaper. As more modern now, as you can see, they have chemically combined chemicals together, like silicon carbide, which is silicon and carbon together. This has a very smooth touch surface. So usually I start off with this 100 grit, and the 100 grit are equivalent to a hard surface that can scratch the surface of another surface, basically. And what that means is I can take like a granite rock and scratch a piece of sheet metal, and it will scratch the surface of that easily. So when you have grade, for understanding the grades of this on sandpaper, 100, 80, 60, 40, any of those numbers that's lower, I would say below 300, those are considered a hard grit. And those are your hard surface finish. Basically, they can scratch the surface easily. And they're usually made of sand or corundum, aluminum oxide, or some other type of hard surface. It could be another type of metal oxide, or it could be just quartz, silicon, which is quartz. But their grain is bigger than the normal. As grain size would be considered as I say bigger than a micro size. So, if I had to put it in measurement, I would say it would be, let's say, micro, and then you have your regular like millimeter, or it would be something similar to like a centimeter compared to a millimeter. So that's the grain size for these type of 100, 80, 60, 40. The grain size is bigger than the 600 grit grade, which is more like a micro grit grade. And so I usually start off, if I want, procedure wise, I start off with the high grade grit, and then I go from somewhere to 600. There's different grades, like maybe it's the 750 or something. It depends on what you want to go for. And then I work my way in between, and I choose this, which is a 300 grit grade, and this is steel wool. You have cotton, wool, it's like steel mesh, whatever. But these usually, suppose they're like, I guess it's a buffer to get out the scratches in between the two. Usually the fine grit, it will get the scratches out from the hard grit. So that's why you go up the grit grade for a shining finish. But this in between is like supposed to smooth the surface out more. Then, of course, whatever sandpaper you use, some you can use with water or oil, and I prefer oil myself. So I use this WD-40 right here. You can use that with that sandpaper. You can use it with the other two, and these two are special type of sandpaper, because the only reason why I'm saying that, these are very high finishing touches, and these two are only found in automotive stores. Now you might find this online, but usually when I go to like a hardware store, I find these two, which is this 100 and 600. But these, I usually find these in the automotive store, and they're usually for fiberglass material. Um, Sorry, my voice is like up and down today. So, but yeah, you can use these two, for finishing the touch at the end. Use oil, of course, to smoothen things out. And these usually give you the shine you're looking for. Now, to actually shine it, like you want a mirror finish shine, you use material like this. That's why I don't know if you guys are familiar, but if you watch videos with people shining metal, they use a material like this and they apply the shining material. Like they will apply the oil. It can be oil based. What is that? Oil based this WD 40, or it can be um, the wax material. Don't know the particular name, but when you go looking for it, um, they just call it like a shine base or something. So you got like a shiny base that you can use, and you just apply it. It's like almost like lipstick or something, like a lipstick type of material, basically. It's like clay. So, but yeah, you have that. You got a shining clay material with oil, and you apply it on something like this. And you can use it on the grinder wheel. You can use it on something like this, a pad. You can use it on a tool that shines for you, like a Dremel or whatever you have. So anything like that. I'm just trying to remember these different applications, but you use those at a high RPM, not really too much high, but I say about 7,500, maybe 5,000, and you keep it there at the material surface. Of course, this is after you sand everything, and then you get that shining material look that you want, like a mirror type of shine. But you need that shining base oil. Um, I have some somewhere. It's a little like paste material. It's not really paste. It's more like a lipstick, like a clay type of oil. And I'll show you in another video. But that's it for this. Tap in.